ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालां पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातदं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जय श्री 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 कलयुग पावन धर्म हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय नाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय इसको फाउंडर आचार्य हरि देवांग प्रभुपाद की जय विमल भक्तविंद की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा. So we are going to finish sixth chapter today. I'm hoping that we can wrap it up. Let's see how far we can go. So sixth chapter, we are talking about Ashtanga Yoga, and I have gone through this slide multiple times. So what we are trying to convey through this slide is when there is sufficient purification through the process of Niskam Karma Yoga, when one is qualified and has come to the stage of Jnana Yoga, then he has three options. He can continue doing the Niskam Karma Yoga at the purified stage and practice the limbs of bhakti, or he can completely renounce and then just practice the Jnana Yoga, or he can come to the third stage or third path, or he can adopt the third path or process, which is called Ashtanga Yoga. So, in that process, we are going through multiple aspects. Uh, chapter 6 has 47 verses. So, in first 9 verses, Krishna is teaching that there are two stages in Ashtanga Yoga. The first one, or the beginning stage, is Yoga Aruruksha, and higher stage is Yoga Arurudha. So Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Pratyahara, all of that come into Yoga Aruruksha stage. And when one is now qualified enough or purified enough to meditate on the form of bhakti, then dharana, dhyan, and samadhi begins. And then we talked about stages of yoga practices, how a person has to practice Ashtanga Yoga. And we saw the recommendation that Krishna is giving is that he need to basically sit down on Kushashan, use the deer skin, and then on the clothing, not too high and not too low. And he should try to practice control of his mind by meditating or having full focus on the tips of his nose. And that's how he should try to control the mind. Because once his mind is controlled, what is the application of mind control here? Is that now person has sufficient practice to keep his mind focused on particular object. He has control over his mind. So if he gets into that asana and now he can think about dharana, different parts of Lord body without any deviation, then he is qualified. So he has to practice the control of mind. And while he is practicing the control of mind, slowly and slowly he has to, or as he will advance, so he is meditating on the different anga, different limbs of the Lord body, starting with Lord's toes, his legs, toes, ankles, then his legs, then knees, then thighs, like that. He's going up. And as he is practicing controlling mind, he has to also develop the sense of samdarsita. And samdarsita means he should not be seeing any difference between friends and enemy. So after hearing this, Arjun said, "Oh, my dear Lord, it's very difficult. First, controlling the mind is too difficult. And then you are saying that I should have that uh, vision, I should have that uh, sight where I don't see difference between enemy and friend, which means you are saying that I should not see the difference between Maharaj Yudhishthir or my brother Yudhishthir versus both of their brothers, by the way. So I should not see the difference between Yudhishthir and Duryodhana. How it's possible? Oh, it's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult to practice this yoga. Then Krishna said, "Yeah, um, I understand it's very difficult, but by abhyas, which means by constant practice and vairagya, detachment, you should be you should be able to practice." So for a strong yogi, he has to have the right posture. He has to get to the secluded place and practice how he can bring his mind and focus his mind at one point. And once he once he's able to do it, then he has to get into the higher stage where he has to meditate on the different parts of Lord bodies and develop this samdarsita. And it's very hard to control the mind. Any point, the mind can go so many places, right? Right now we are in St. Louis, but if our mind is with us, then we are in St. Louis. Otherwise, might be in Brindavan. We might be somewhere in India, trying to solve some of the problem that going on in our family members' life. So we are flying with the speed of mind. The Biman, the aircraft that we have, is very fast and it moves with the speed of mind. Mind can take everywhere, anywhere. So Arjun says it's very, very difficult, and chances are higher that people will fail. So it's not something that sounds like a perfect plan for everybody. There are people who will fail in this process. So, my dear Lord, what is the destination to those people who are failing into the process of yoga? Now, we have been talking and discussing and trying to understand that on the yoga ladder, we have कर्म yoga, we have niskam karma yoga, we have Gyan yoga, and we have Ashtanga yoga, and then bhakti. So whatever is applying for yogi is going to be also applicable for bhakta. So if devotees fail, if we fail, what is our destination? Krishna said, Nehavi karme naso asti, pratyayo na vidyate, shalpamapi dharmasya trayato mahto bhayat. Oh Arjun, even if you have done little bit of bhakti, that bhakti will save you from mahto bhayat, from the great disasters, great disaster that has to fall upon you, great calamities that is going to fall upon you. This little bit bhakti will save you. So that's what we are going to do from 37 verse. We'll see what are the destination of the person who are not successful in the process of Ashtanga Yoga. And then finally, two verses because we are going to finish the first six chapter, and Krishna is going to talk about Bhakti Yoga. He introduces the concept of Bhakti, last two chapter. So let's see what is coming for us. So verse number 58, sorry, 35. I don't know how 58 came. So Krishna says that asamsayam mahabahu mano durnigraham chalam avyasena tu kaunteya vairagena cha grihate. You can achieve that by suitable practice and vairagya, detachment. So we did that verse uh, in last session where Arjun is asking that it's very difficult. And Bhagavan says, yes, I agree with you. It's difficult. Mano durnigraham chalam. Chalam means speed, fickleness of the mind. So yes, mind is very chanchalam. I agree with that. But abhyasena tu kaunteya? By abhyas and vairagya chagidhyate. You can control the mind. So let's read from verse number 36. Ashamayat manah yogo dusprapa iti me mataha mati, my opinion. Vashiyatma tu yatata shakyo avaptum upayataha. So, in my opinion, iti me matihi, in my opinion, it's very difficult to achieve the self-realization with ashamyat manoha, with uncontrolled mind. So, mind is the miracles. Huh? We all are here because we are trying to practice some control of mind and hear. So, this is Krishna's opinion. He says that iti me matihi, it is my opinion that self-realization is going to be very difficult with uncontrolled mind. Vashiyatmana tu yatata shakyo avaptum payataha. Shakayo, what is possible? You can make it. Avaptum You can make it when Bashiyatma, when you have a controlled mind. And Yatata, and you are doing the endeavor. So when you have controlled mind and when you are making endeavor, then then you can make your make your life successful. You can become successful. So again we can see here that mind control is coming again as an important topic. So Arjuna started asking, Ayati Shraddhayopate Shraddhayopate Yogat Chalitah Manshah Aprapya Yoga Samsidhum Kam Gatim Krishna Gachati. Kam Gatim Krishna Gachati. Oh Krishna, Kam Gatim. What destination that person goes? Ayati Shraddhayopate, the one who has engaged into the process of yoga with faith. This person is not ordinary person. He has engaged into the process of yoga with some faith. Chalita manasah aprapya. But due to fickleness of his mind, aprapya yoga samsiddhim, he has not achieved the perfection of the yoga process. So somebody has, please pay attention and understand these things. It will help make the concept very clear and develop good understanding of the subject. It's very important. So a person has faith, but due to fickleness of his mind, aprapya yoga samsidum, he aprapya, prapya aprapya. Prapya means achieved, aprapya means one who does not achieve. So he has not achieved samsiddhim, perfection, yoga samsiddhim, the perfection of the yogic process. Kam gatim Krishna gachati. Oh Krishna, where is the destination of that person? Come, where that person goes. So Arjun in verse number 37 is asking this uh, question. Kashin no bhaya vibhrastas chin abraham yuvanashyati apratistho mahabaho vimudho brahmana pathi. Kashin no bhaya, kashin means क्या होता है? What happened? What happens? What happens? No bhaya ubhrastash, ubhaya, two, no bhaya, none of those. So we have talked about process of karma. We have talked about process of jnana. So no bhaya, this person has bibhrastash, bibhrastash. He has he has left the process of karma and yoga, and he has karma and jnana. Sorry, no abhyas, ubhaya, no abhaya. He has renounced. He is not doing karma yoga. He is not doing jnana yoga. He is now practicing the Ashtanga yoga. And at that stage, Chin Abraham Yuvanashyati Apratishto Mahabaho Vimudho Brahmanapati. Brahmanapati means the person, Pati means the one who is walking on the path. So a person who has renounced the process of karma and jnana and is walking on the path of uh, Ashtanga yoga, but apratistho, but he does not have developed firm faith, or he has not formally advanced, or he has not, perfected. Is it not like Kashin? Is it not like that Chin Abram Ivanashati, that person will disappear like a fragmented cloud? Very nicely, if you understand some of these things, what happens to the fragmented cloud? You watch in the sky, you'll see, some little bit of sky, cloud somewhere. You'll see it moving, 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 and then slowly gone, disappear. So Arjuna is saying, is it not like that? Let's understand the emotion. Is it not like that? The person who has left the process of karma and jnana and is practicing the process of yoga but has not perfected his life, does he not going to disappear like fragmented cloud disappear in the sky? Arjuna is asking. So very nicely, Arjuna is trying to understand. Please tell us what is the destination. It's very important, right? For us to know. एतान में संशयम कृष्णा छेतुम अर्हस्य शेषतः त्वादन्य संशयस्य छेता नाहि प्रपद्यते. एतान में, I have these queries, I have these questions. एतान में संशयम Krishna, oh my dear Lord Krishna, I have these doubt. Twadanya, and who except you? Twad anya, who except you can help understand the answer of this question that I'm asking? So, my dear Lord, these are my doubt. But etan me samsayam Krishna. These are my doubt, my dear Lord. Chatum arhasya sestaha. That's why I am inquiring from you. Knowing twadanya samsaya sasya, samsaya asya. Who twadanya, who beyond you can help me understand this doubt? No one can help me dispel this doubt except you. So far, Krishna Arjun has very nicely presented his query. Kashin Nubhaya Vibrastash Shin Abraham Vanashati. Is it not like that a fallen person will disappear like fragmented cloud? Who can answer this to me? Twadanya, who can answer this doubt, samsaya that I have? So, my dear Lord, please help me understand this query that I have. Sri Bhagwanu Vacha, Krishna started talking. Partha Nayueha Namutra Vinasastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyanakrit Kashid Durgatim Tattagachati. He says, Partha, oh Arjun, Nayueha, not in this life, Na Amutra, not in the next life. Vinasasya Tasya Vidyate. Kalyan Krit, if one has acted in auspicious activity, if one has acted auspiciously, his endeavor not going to be
not going to be binasas, not going to be distracted in this life, not in the next life. The one who has acted piously, his endeavor is not going to be distracted this life, not in next life. Nahi durgatim tatagachati. And that person will never be destined to to hellish or lower planet. Gatim, heavenly planet, higher planet. Durgatim, very common, right? In Sanskrit, in every word, this gatim, durgatim comes. So, nahi durgatim tata gachati. That person would never ever, not this lifetime, not in next lifetime, is going to meet any durgati, lower destination. Durgati here also means loss, loss of his kalyan krit, loss of his pious endeavor, either jnani or yogi or niskam karmi yogi. His endeavor is not going to get lost. Krishna continues, prapya punyakritam lokan usitava saswati shamaha शुचिनाम श्रीमते गेहे योगा भ्रष्टो अभिजायते प्राप्य पुण्य कृतम लोकान. He is given the punya lokan. He is given the higher destination because he has done the pious karma. Usitava saswati samaha. Saswata long time. Saswata for longer and sama means time. So he will be usita. He will be availing. He will be uh, enjoying the heavenly planet for a long time. Yogo bhrashta abhijayate, and that person who has not completed the path of yoga, if he takes birth, Sushinam Srimate Gehe, Krishna says, he takes birth in a religious family and in a very rich family. So this is for that type of yogi who has practiced yoga for a very short time. He has not practiced yoga for long time. And if he leaves his body without shamshidhim, without perfecting the yoga process, prapya punya kritam lokan, he will go to higher planetary system where he can enjoy the fruits of his pious activity for many years. And then after that, he'll be given birth. And when the birth is given, Suchinam Srimate Gehe, it's granted that he's going to take birth in a religious family and he's going to take birth in a rich family. So if we introspect about ourselves, Krishna is giving us Suchi. He has given us birth in a family where we had the opportunity to hear about Krishna, and he is giving us the wealth, and he has also sent us back here so that we can practice, we can start the process. He will say later, we'll start the process where we have left. But on this path, Krishna is saying that there is no loss. Durgatim tattagacchati. They are never going to go to the Durgatim, to the lower, to the hellish destination. But what would happen to the person who has practiced yoga for a long time and has it not perfected? Krishna says, Atva yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatmana etadhi durlabha taram loke janma yad idrisham. Atva yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam 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 dhimatam. Matam means buddhi. Dhi धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Dhi matam. A person whose matam is higher, highest sumedha, highest most intelligence. Person who is occupied in performing the devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of you are dhimatihi. But your mati is engaged in serving Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are not on the yoga process, but dhimatihi. So atva yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimati. The person who has atha, who has performed this process for a long time, he takes birth in a family of a devotee. Dhimatim, dhimatam. In a family where where practice of bhakti is happening. Our kids are perfect example. They will take the process or not the process, how much they will adhere with the process, but Krishna gave them the opportunity. Etadhi durlabha taram loke janma yad idrisham. And this type of birth where one is gotten opportunity to practice bhakti, that is durlabha. It's durlabha. It's durlabha to take birth in a house, in a family of a devotee. So I highlighted that in the purport Srila Prabhupada is saying that it's our good fortune that myself and his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj, both of them were taken birth in a pious family. Prabhupada, from his very childhood, he would see deity of Radha and Krishna, and he will do Rath Yatra. Siddhanta Swami Maharaj, he took birth in a family of, not in a family, but as a son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is already Paramahansa. So that's what happens. Somebody who has performed bhakti for a long time, but by any means, if that person cannot continue, Krishna eva kule bhavati dhimatam. That person is given birth in the family of a devotee. Tatra ham tatra tam buddhi samyogam labhate paudehikam yatate chatato bhuyah samsidhau guru nandana. So tatra tam, these personalities, labhate paudehikam, since these personalities have paudehikam in previous life, they have performed some yoga. This lifetime, when they get the next life, Krishna will give them buddhi samyogam. They will take birth with that same buddhi, and he will engage in the yatata chatato Bhuya samsiddhau Kurunandana. O Kurunandan, O Arjun, these personalities, either they have practiced short term or long term, since they have practiced yoga in their previous life, they will be they will be given birth with buddhi samyogam, with that buddhi, which will allow him to continue this process. Sometimes um, becomes very hard, very hard to convince someone that we should do bhakti. We should engage in the process of bhakti. Oh, talking about bhakti, how we can do bhakti? If there is Krishna, why he doesn't come in front of my eyes? I'll do bhakti if he comes and tells me that do bhakti. Devotees of Krishna, I don't know what they are doing. See, पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव ह्रियते हि वसोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्द भ्रम वर्तते. So पूर्वाभ्यास तेनैव ह्रियते. पूर्वाभ्यास, very simple word. In previous life, since tenaiva, since these personalities have done bhakti, ह्रियते हि अवसोऽपि सः, in their heart I give them that jigyasa, that desire for bhakti, for this yoga process. Secret of success, Krishna is opening here. Why we ended up becoming where we are today. Very good verses for us to meditate. Krishna says that Hriyate, he avasho apishaha. Hriyate refers to in their heart. In their heart. Since they have done Purvabhyas, they come with the softness, they come with that willingness to practice bhakti. And they are Jigyasur, Sarva Uttamam. People are asking questions about financial investment. People are asking questions about politics. People are asking questions about sociology. People are asking questions about health. People are asking questions about so many things. Everybody has a questions. What is my question? What I want to ask? We all are asking something. We all have questions. What is my question? What I'm going to ask? Jigyasurapi yogasya. A person who has practiced Krishna consciousness, he will ask question about how can I become devotee? What do I need to do to practice science of Krishna consciousness? So this type of question comes from a person who has purvabhyas. By the way, uh, please adhere to the concept that we are talking. We are talking about destination of a person who has fallen. So this person is getting opportunity to inquire about yoga process. And what happens? Shabd Brahmati Artate Vartate. Shabd Brahmaniti Vartate. So Shabd, what is the understanding most of the time people have? Our understanding is very limited to the Shabda that we can understand, right? Shabd that we can understand. Thinking, feeling, and willing that we can connect to. That is the extent of our understanding. But this person, since he has performed the bhakti in previous life, Krishna is saying that I make him or her jigyashu about the yoga process. so that he can surpass the Shabd Brahmati. I think it should be Brahman. Brahmati Vartate. Things that is beyond Shabda. So now you understand why you have faith in Krishna, why we can see Krishna and Balram as a Lord Himself, because Lord has in our Hiryate transplanted that bhakti. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Big. In many preaching term, we say that it's basically uh, one's good karma, or just to make things a little bit more clear, one will be more susceptible or accessible to the process of bhakti. One can easily access this process. Why? Because purva abhyasena. He has that abhyas. And then his realization will be sabd brahmane vartate, avartate, beyond, beyond. And that is realization. My realization tells me that Krishna is a person, Srimati Radharani is a person. And although my physical body cannot understand, when I close my eyes and try to imagine, I can see that Lord is in Golok Vrindavan and all the Gopas are there and Gopis are there and all the friends of Srimati Radharani are happily serving Supreme Personality. This is Sabt Brahmane Avartate. This is beyond Sabda. That's advancement in Krishna consciousness. That advancement devotee achieve through the process of bhakti. Krishna is saying that does not get lost. Prayatnad Yatmanastu Yogi Shamsudha Kilvishaha Anek Janma Samsiddhas Tatoyati Paramgatam Paramgatim. So Prayatan Prayatnad Prayatnad Yatmanash. So by constant, sincerely endeavor, Prayatna and Yatan, Prayatan and Yatan, sincerely, sincerely, that person will sincerely and eagerly engage in the process of bhakti. Samshidhum kilvisha. Kilvishi means nash, destruction of all the sin. Anek janma, birth after birth. All the sin that person has incurred, that sin by engaging into the process of devotional service with sincerity, some sudha ilvisa, all of that sin will be completely vanquished. Tatoyati pramgati. And then that person will go to pramgati. He'll be the destination that he will get is very, very high liberation. He will achieve the uh, liberation. So we saw that even little bit bhakti, when Krishna says that Nihavi karmena soasti, that theme applies even to the yogi too. Krishna gave them wherever he has lived. He gives the faith, shraddha in the heart of that devotee, his jigyasha, his inquisitiveness, his inquisitive about knowing and hearing and serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The fire is there. From where it's coming? Because Purva Vyasana, he has practiced bhakti. And he would be given opportunity to do bhakti. And then when he sincerely endeavors on the path of Krishna consciousness, all the sins that he has accumulated, birth after birth, Shamshuddha Kilvishihi, all the sins that he has incurred, all of that will be samshuddha, completely vanquished, and then tatoyati puramgatim. That person will be sent to the ultimate, to his ultimate paramgatim. So that's the uh, destination of a person who fails in the process of yoga. I'll just go through these two verses, and then I would like to little bit share a few points and give you all opportunity to ask questions, or try to understand the concept that we went through in this chapter. So now we are getting into a different theme. So in that continuation, Krishna says, tapasvi vyo adhiko yogi, ज्ञानी भ्यो अपि मतो अधिकः कर्म भियश कर्म भियश च अधिको योगी तस्माद yogi bhava arjuna. So this yogi adhiko is greater than tapasvi. This yogi is greater than jnani. We are talking about Astang yogi. This yogi is greater than karma yogi, a person who are engaging in karma yoga, a person who is engaged in Gyan yoga, or a person who is engaged in Yag Tapsa, Gyan Tapsa. This yogi is greater than all of this personality. Tashmad, whenever you see Tasmad, concludes. Therefore, Yogi Bhava Arjuna. Oh Arjun, I think or I recommend you become a yogi. But here is another point. Krishna says, Yogi Nam api sarvesham मद गतेनांतरात्मना श्रद्धावान भजतो यो माम शामे युक्त तमो मतः. But out of all of these yogis, karma yogi, gyan yogi, or now you can even say ashtanga yogi, all of these yogis that we have talked, higher than all of these yogis, shraddhavan bhajate yo mam, a person who with faith, with, with faith, a person who has faith, and with faith, he is worshipping me, mad gaten antan, gaten antaratmana, by fixing his mind upon me. Same yukta tamomataha. This is my this is my recommendation. This is my opinion that a person with due faith, shraddha, is constantly worshipping me. He is manmana bhav bhakto madhyaji namaskru. He is thinking about me. He is engaged. His mind and his activity, everything is engaged in serving me. Yoginam api sarvesham. That yogi is the topmost yogi. So Krishna here very nicely finishes chapter 6 and taking Arjun now to Bhakti Yoga. So we saw how nicely uh, Arjun has come up to this stage, and then Krishna is now walking him, taking him through the to the Bhakti Yoga process. So this verse number 47 has two meaning. If you look at 46 verse, Krishna has already said that out of all the tapasvi, out of all the jnani, and out of all the karma yogi, is Astang yogi is better. So Astang yogi also has categories. So one meaning would be that out of all of this Astang yogi, the one who is with due faith, always worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead, meditating on the form and thinking about Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Sarvasrest Yogi. That's one explanation. A second explanation could be of all the yogic process that I have given you so far. So for whatever you have heard, out of all yoga, the person who with Shraddha is Mad Gaten Antaratmana, is always thinking of me and engaging in my devotional service is my is the topmost person. Later we'll understand when we understand the definition of pure devotional service. Anya vilasita sunyam gyan karmadya navritam anukulenu anukulenu krishnanu silnam bhaktir uttamam. So this Ashtanga Yogi is not Anya vilasita sunyam. This Ashtanga Yogi is not free from the support of Gyan and Karma. So far, whatever we have talked, none of these are pure bhakti, but it has some aspect of bhakti. Okay, it has some aspect of bhakti. Very important concept that I would like to share, and I hope that you can grasp it. So we talked that Gyan Yogi is going to meditate on the Brahman form, effulgence of the Supreme Lord. And Paramatma Yogi, Ashtanga Yogi is uh, going to meditate on the Paramatma form. And Bhagwan is going to meditate on Lord's personal form. So bhakti is free from all other desire. There is no desire. And pure bhakti is not supported by Gyan and Karma. But the process of Gyan Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga is not Anya Vilasita Shunyam, and it's not uh, free from the Gyan and Karma, but it has some bhakti. Okay, so Gyan Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga has bhakti, but that bhakti is supported by Gyan and Karma. It's not unalloyed. It's not Kevalya Bhakti. Okay, so what happens is that without so very important point to be noted and to be remembered, that never say that by Gyan Yoga one will go to Brahman, or by Ashtanga Yoga one will go to Paramatma. No, Bhagwan is beyond this guna. So Sakam Karma Yoga is practice which is in the mode of passion. Ashtanga Yoga and Gyan Yoga are the process which are in the mode of goodness. But Bhagwan is Shuddhasattva. So process must have to be Shuddhasattva to attain Lord. So in Jnana Yoga, there is some bhakti. When Krishna says, Matchita, Matprana, meditate on me. So they are doing bhakti. They have, so Jnana Yogi also, what they are doing, they have, they are, once they are advanced, then they are meditating on the teachings of Upanishad, teaching of Shastra, but they don't engage by taking the limbs of devotional service. So they take the anga of bhakti, which is 64 limbs, as secondary and other as a primary. And that gave them the destination of Brahman or Paramatma. Okay. But the destination that they get, that's coming from bhakti only. If you can understand this concept, I think you made it. So whatever destination they get, it's coming because of their uh, bhakti. So let me a little bit explain this slide. So karma kanda, very gross way of living the life, completely in the mode of ignorance. Shakam Karma Yoga is in the mode of passion. Niskam Karma Yoga, one is doing for purification of heart. And we saw these three items, three paths. So at Niskam Karma Yoga, stage one has purified their heart. So all of these three paths are basically a type of Gyan Yoga or a strong, Gyan Yoga, type of Gyan Yoga. And these are in the process of goodness. So none of these process will basically help one to come to Bhagwan. Rather, while they are practicing these three anga or these three process, they do practice some bhakti. Okay. And that bhakti help them achieve the liberation. But since this bhakti was never annavilasita sunyam, this bhakti was never gyan karma navritam, this bhakti was not sufficient enough to give them ultimate goal, which is Golok Vrindavan, abode of Supreme Lord. But there was some bhakti. So by engaging in process of gyan and karma, or even in Gyan, when we say Gyan Yoga or Astanga Yoga or Karma Yoga, in all those processes, there are some bhakti. Okay. But that bhakti is supported by Gyana or Karma. That bhakti is not pure. Okay. But when we are talking about Bhakti Yoga, we are talking about pure, condensed bhakti. Okay. So that's how we finish 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, one third of the Bhagavad Gita completed. And in summary, I would like to tell you that the first chapter is just a dialogue. Dialogue is happening between different personalities. Second chapter, little bit talks about everything. Third and fourth chapter talks about Niskam Karma Yoga. Fifth chapter talks about Gyan Yoga. Sixth chapter talks about Ashtanga Yoga. But first 6 chapter of Bhagavad Gita prominently talks about Karma Yoga, but it does talk about Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. I'm giving you more than is expected from this course, but understand, we say that first, so when we started this presentation, we said that when we started this course, we said that the first 6 chapter is Karma Yoga. Yes, prominently it talks about Karma Yoga, but it does talk a little bit about Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. The next 6 chapter that we are going to talk is going to talk about bhakti. Okay, so this first 6 chapter is called, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Guni Bhuta Bhakti. This is a bhakti which has some element of jnana or karma. Okay, so hope you had a good understanding of 6 chapters so far, and please listen the classes. uh, I think I tried to present something that would clear your doubt, because I myself was confused. I had to systematically study and spend time. So take it as a great help to clear some of these doubts. And let's hear from you if there is anything that anybody would like to share. And then last 5 minutes, we'll talk about exam date. I need to know when we are ready to give the exam. So can I stop sharing the screen, Prabhuj?
Yes,
I
Prabhuji.
can. Okay. So let's Is it clear? Did it help understand some of this concept?
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm also reading this the purport from the, as you are explaining, from 46th verse. So the purport also mentioned about how Prabhupada has given karma kanda, karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga. So that as you are explaining, I'm relating to that purport also to see that how the yoga process is a linking our consciousness to supreme absolute. Then when something is predominantly fruitive activities related, that is Prabhupada saying as a karma yoga, and predominantly when it is empirical, then it is called as jnana yoga. And when it is predominantly devotional relationship, then that is called as bhakti yoga. So, so these three yogas are really relating our consciousness to supreme, so absolute. But when it comes to, as you explained, when it is bhakti, that is the pure, that is anyabhilashita sunyam. But other yoga processes, there are some kind of attachment is there. But when it comes to the bhakti yoga, then that is anyabhilashita sunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam, as you mentioned that verse. So that is the pure state, that is the liberated state. So that is where I was meditating from. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Nice. Good point. Good. Thank you. Very good. Very good point. Yes. So, basically, the first six chapter prepare our mind to understand the next six chapter more clearly. So that's what, basically Sadbhujan Anand Prabhu was telling. So now we understand, right, that how these things still have support of Gyan and Karma, right? There is still some desire, right? Oh, we have a, I know, it's okay. Spiritual desires are desire. But bhakti, the true definition of pure bhakti is that it should be done anukulenu krishnanu, you know. So anukulasya sankalpya, partikulasya varjanam. Whatever is favorable for Krishna, that I am going to sankalpa. That's going to be my determination to do. Pratikulasya vivarjanam. So good point, Prabhu. Thank you. What do you have? What else we can? I want to hear one or two more realization. Anur Prabhu, do you have anything that you would like to say?
Yeah. Well, as you said in this chapter, I mean, yogi who is always meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead is regarded as the Supreme. And it's interesting that the whole process of Ashtanga Yoga, and you nicely described there are two aspects. One is the beginner aspect, um, the Aruroksha,
Yes,
Aruruddha
Prabhu.
and Aruroksha.
Yoga
Aruroksha is the
Aruruksha,
initial,
Yoga
yeah,
Arurudha. Yeah.
yeah, and Aruddha phase. So Aruroksha is the initial phase where we try to do asana pranayam mudra and all those things. Um, and then the other aspects are the higher aspects. And we try to meditate and try to discipline ourselves, control our mind, which is very difficult, as Arjun is saying. Very, very difficult. But Krishna is saying it is possible. It is possible through the process of practice and detachment. So it's a lifelong, I mean, it's a struggle, it's an uphill process. But by disciplining the mind and using the higher intelligence, we can do that. And the higher intelligence should direct towards higher, which is Krishna.
Hmm.
So we should
Hmm.
go higher and higher. um, and the other point which you said nicely, Prabhu, is all the other yogas like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga have elements of bhakti, which makes it successful. So certainly, all these yogis Karma yogis, Gyan yogis are certainly very exalted people, and they have they are at a transcendental plane.
Mm,
um, uh, and of all the yogis, the bhakti yogis, the pure bhakti kevalya bhakti, right? So the kevalya bhakti people are the highest, and they are free from material desires, as you said, and Shadvaran also emphasized, is the gyan karma. They are the highest. I mean, they are purely nothing else except for pleasing the Lord. So always meditating, like the gopis of and the Nand and Yashoda.
mm,
mm, They were constantly meditating. Kansa was also meditating, but he went and
mm,
also he meditated negatively. So
mm. Yeah, Akhil
okay,
Rasamrita Murti. Bhagwan has, Krishna has Akhil Rasamrita Murti form. And we'll talk about that in, I think, in Nectar of Instruction, or maybe Nectar of Devotion when we start the course. But you're right. You're right. There's so much, a lot of technical thing that we have to understand, but very nicely. Really, not in a luji guji, he's either ka udhar karke. Very clearly, nicely. Then you will see the nectar that comes out of it, the releasement that you get when understanding these things, and then see how coherently, consistently Krishna is touching upon things and helping one to go up very nicely. So, yes, I said good points. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Anybody has anything else? Yeah, you want to continue, Prabhu, please?
one thing I wanted to ask, Prabhuji, do you recommend some supplemental for the exam and other things, and in future also for we are listening to your lecture, we are reading Prabhupada's book. Beside that, if we want to have a better understanding, do you suggest something more like listening to Prabhupada lecture, anything like that? Anything
Prabhu,
else?
for this course, the
Hmm.
scope of this course is that we should study Prabhupada's purport.
Okay.
That is the scope of this course. And uh, in future, if you have something specific that you would like to understand, then we can maybe take it offline. I can give you some guidance
Okay.
that what are the things would be helpful to understand. But this course is designed to study Prabhupada's purport very carefully
Okay.
and meditate on that, and try to understand some of this concept.
Okay.
But there
Okay.
are other commentaries by other acharyas that will help you. But that will become too much right now for this course. So
Mhm.
let's get through this one, and then maybe later, if some of you are very serious, then we can study Bhakti Vaibhav together. Some of the devotees who did Bhakti Shastri, they continued with Bhakti Vaibhav. So there, we can a little bit talk about some of these things. But yes, there are stages, Prabhu. You know that, right? That well, I personally think that uh, the maturity in your dealing and bhakti will come when you are very carefully hearing the sound of our acharyas, which is by reading the books. Let
Mhm.
this thing, because reading acts upon us in multiple ways. It thinks, it makes us think. When you are reading something, you'll imagine, right? If you read something right away, you'll think that Krishna is coming, Radharani is going, and then demons appear. Your mind will imagine, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's the purification of the mind. So reading acts upon us in multiple way. Thinking,
Mhm.
feeling, willing, all these three things are being impacted when we read. So I request devotees to a little bit read, here, read, and then slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly it will help. Okay, so when we should give for next week, I think I'm going to start the seventh chapter. I have to continue because we have to get through this course,
in a good pace. So next week, next Saturday, next weekend, I'm going to start 7th chapter. But we have to basically, all of you who are trying to get the certificate, please submit your homework and then see if we can have the exam. So can we have the exam? Maybe this is 13th. Can we have the exam on, I don't know, maybe 10th of the June, or it gives you 4 weeks, or you want to wait a little bit, think about it. Here's the thing, if you don't give the exam right away, then it will become too difficult. But if you give the exam, then you can very easily get through it because you have just heard everything is in your mind. So I would not recommend that you should delay it too long, but you also should submit your homework. Homework will help you understand some of these things. Dear devotees, sadhana has to happen. I mean, do I give time? Is it, with for the conditioned mind, it's very boring. It's very difficult to hear Krishna Katha. Oh, I would be driving, maybe walking into the Walmart, going into the Target, doing something. That's the mind. But we say, no, 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 my dear mind, why don't we release the purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here? So there is some endeavor. I can tell you, bhakti is not that we just walk over it. If you don't put some endeavor, then the change will be very slow. So don't take it in a wrong way. It's my humble request. So don't take it like a load. Take it like a step that will help you grow, understand some of the things. And also, when I do these things, I see as an opportunity to engage in Krishna consciousness. I mean, this whole teaching course, you have to prepare PowerPoint presentation, this and that, all. It's like a lot of, it's just a service. But what it does to me, it helps me understand, always talk about Krishna Katha, help devotee understand whatever understanding I have. So think that way. Wrong. Sabd Brahmine, avartate. Something that is not very kind of monumentary, something that can be transacted right away. They say that Surya and Priya, right? So we are preparing ourselves for the Surya. So those are some of the things I would like to request. If you want to pull it out, very easy to pull it out, but not try to pull it out. Our endeavor should be that we should try to pull in. Let's see, I'll fail. It's okay, I'll fail. I'll try to give it once again. Something like that. So that's how slowly and slowly we get inside. Is it making sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. So regarding date-wise, just I thought of like maybe 24th is a good,
Okay,
Prabhuji.
24th June.
Yeah, June 24th. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
24th June is fine with me. I'll be out of, I'm not sure where I will be, but I'm okay. If 24th June is the date that all of you want, 24th June, which gives you 1, 2, 3. Okay, 5 weeks, right, Prabhu? 24th is okay with everybody?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Prabhu,
So,
we might forget all the things. And then there will be
yeah.
an overload of the next few
And then the
chapters, right?
homework will keep, in 5 weeks, I think we will at
So
least
it will
get
be,
2
yeah,
chapters.
it will be overloaded.
Thank you, Mataji. So 7th and 8th chapter, I think we'll get in next 2
Yeah.
weeks.
So
But I'm your servant, I'll do whatever,
Prabhu, let's do middle, 17th instead of 10th.
Okay.
No, no, Mataji. We
Oh.
need time. I was actually thinking for little more time, but because we
24th.
have little travel plans
Sure.
also in between.
Okay.
That's why a long weekend,
Okay, Mataji.
but
Okay,
not
so
before
first,
24th.
yeah.
At least not before June 24th, bro.
Okay.
Either 24th or you can give one little more time.
And then the next one is July 1st.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. 24th is there, 21st July is there. With the first batch or last batch, we basically finish the course in 2 weeks. So this week we finish this chapter. Module 1 is done. You are done with one module. Ha ha, very good. 5 more to go. And then 1 week for preparation, next and the following week exam. But I know that some of you have to capture the homework and need some time to study. It's mostly you have to study the homework. So if you do the homework and just go through it, it'll be good because homework is designed to capture all the key points that is coming in that particular chapter. And
One
I
question
guess,
so regarding a short and two kinds of questions are going to be there, right? Apart from the essay kind of questions. So do we expect the questions from the assignments or beyond that? Just
the concept will be same, the term will be a little bit different. So the answer is there, but question might be phrased little differently. We'll phrase it little differently so that you'll have to think, oh, where is the answer for it? That's all. But the answers are there. Everything is coming from Sarva Passport. But maybe we can a little bit tweak that, or not tweak the term. I mean, we have to say niskam karma as niskam karma, but maybe a little bit,
in other words, that it is not
phrase.
confined to the questions that are from the
Not
essay.
exactly cut and paste of the questions. Yes.
Yeah.
If that's what you were asking, yes. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Because we talked multiple theme and we'll be asking, some of those thematic type of thing, that how Krishna prescribed the destination of a unsuccessful yogi. So now you have to start saying that there are two types of unsuccessful yogi. One who has practiced for short time, and Krishna says, Suchinam Srimate Gehe. For that person, first he will be at heavenly planet to enjoy the pious credit, and then when he takes birth, he gets Suchinam Srimate Gehe. Second one, Krishna says that he takes birth in the family of a devotee, and then Krishna creates the environment around him so that he can continue and achieve the destination. That's all. So we have to basically little bit or what is the recommendation Krishna is giving for unsuccessful yogi who has practiced yoga for long time? Then you have to only answer one part of it. So a little bit or maybe the same thing, we will have multiple choice questions, true or false. The yogi who has practiced for short term achieve birth in a religious family and in educated family. Is true or false, right? Something like that. So you can say, so just tweaking of the wording or phrasing it differently, the concept will remain the same.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so do we need to refer to shlokas also while we are writing answers? Because
If
maybe
you
I feel that
have
is more
memorized it,
difficult. That is
yeah,
more.
no, totally up to you. I mean, no, 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 no. You don't have to mention sloka. You just have to
No,
mention
not
the
shloka,
concept.
means shloka numbers or suppose
No, no, no,
sometimes,
not needed,
yeah,
not needed.
as
Not
long
needed.
as we remember the concept and we can
Yes,
able to keep it. Yeah.
yes, yes. No
Mm.
sloka. Only there will
I mean
be
shloka number particularly purport because
no need,
sometimes no.
no need,
Yeah.
no need, no need. No need. No need for sloka or no need to even insight in which slokas purport Prabhupada is. No. It's just the holistic understanding of this content. Is good enough? You don't have to cite verse number or purport or anything like that. It's good enough. We can adjourn here today. Thank you. Vanchkalpato Vesha Kripa Sindhu Vesa Patitanam Pavani Vyo Vaishnavi Vyo Namo Namo Symbol Bhakti Vrind Ki Jai. Dandavad, Hare Krishna, everybody. See you next Saturday.
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Bol, Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. So exam as of now is 24th June. If you change mind or anything like that, we'll discuss about it. But before that, please try to work on your homework and send it to me. Thank you. Dandavad, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.